Let's get this over with.
Disappointment in the game of life.
Bowser Castle 2 is the worst track in the entire Mario Kart series. Its only possible competition for this prestigious honor comes from other tracks in this very game. But ultimately, I came to the decision that it earned this spot. It doesn't even feel like a race course, just something that was haphazardly thrown together in a level editor. And before you say, well, isn't that just a symptom of being in Super Mario Kart? No! The other courses have track design. One part of the road naturally leads to the next part on these other courses. That's the bare fucking minimum. Here, there's a complete dead end disguised as a regular turn that you can't progress through if you don't have a feather, and there's a bizarre middle section where no turn naturally leads into another. Why would you ever turn right, then left, then right at this one part? What is the point of that? It's so sloppy and abysmally beneath the already pretty low standards of this game's courses. What else is there? Oh, there's long-ass straightaways where barely anything happens, and sharp 90-degree turns that absolutely do not mesh with this game's control scheme. This is an obscene piece of shit, and Bowser should be ashamed of himself.
I deserve that.
And that was just the first of 3 F-tier courses this game has. Yep, you heard me right. Buckle up, f***o. Wow, Super Mario Kart controls like ass by modern standards. I know what would make it better. Ice physics! Welcome to Vanilla Lake 1. It's slippery as shit. Are you surprised? But making your kart impossible to control wasn't enough, because there's also these tiny, difficult to notice ice blocks that bring you to a screeching halt if you hit and break them. What a great course! On top of that, there are pointless multicolored barriers jutting out and making the course more annoying to get through. Plus, the course itself is just one big circle. It's so boring! Or at least it would be if it wasn't so infuriating. Anyway, one more F tier to go. What could it possibly be? Whoa, Vanilla Lake 2! I can't believe it! I thought it was so much better than the first one! Truth be told, the first time I played this course, I just couldn't believe it. Like, the sheer audacity of a course trying this hard to be completely unplayable is so impressive that I have to admire it. Remember those ice blocks from the first Vanilla Lake? Yeah, they're annoying, but there's only a few of them, so it's not so bad. Oh my god! Who did this lying crafting emoji? There's so many of them all bunched up together in 2 different spots. And for what? The most annoying obstacle in the history of the series? Additionally, this course is also a lame-ass circle. But the reason I ranked it above fellow F-tier flunkies is because it can actually be pretty satisfying to hop past the corners of the lake on this one. It makes you feel like a Mario Kart pro. Until you remember you're playing Vanilla Lake 2 and sink back into depression. This course is ass and playing it should be made illegal. Okay, now it's time for the D tiers. Thank God. I missed them so much. Okay, so if you couldn't tell by now, I don't really like Super Mario Kart. It's by far the worst game in the franchise, and I don't think you can possibly make an argument that it's not. But it's obviously not the developer's fault. In fact, they did a great job making something so revolutionary for a 16-bit console. It's a miracle this game is somewhat playable by modern standards at all. And I will say, this game does include maybe one of the hypest items in the entire franchise for me. The feather. Damn it, when I get that feather and land a cool shortcut, that is one of the most exciting feelings in any Mario Kart game. I'm dead serious. I love the feather so much. I know it doesn't really have a place in modern track design, but it is the single best thing about Super Mario Kart, in my opinion. And the reason I'm saying all of this right now is because of the Ghost Valleys. Ghost Valley 1 has a cool feather shortcut. Ghost Valley 2 has a cool feather shortcut. But Ghost Valley 3? No. It just couldn't keep that streak going for some reason. There are no feather shortcuts on Ghost Valley 3, and I'm pissed. Also, the track is overly long with no obstacles outside of falling off. You just drive for ages and listen to the lame-ass music for way more time than you should. It actually has all the same problems as Broken Pier, my least favorite track from Super Circuit. So I mean, yeah, does this placement really surprise you? Bad track. Moving on. Oh goody! An SNES Bowser's Castle again! Bowser's Castle 1 isn't as jank as its sequel, and yet it still sucks. Most of the course is straightaways with no obstacles except a couple of easy to dodge thwomps. Plus, the annoying 90-degree turns are back since the entire course is just a square. Plus, why does the road jut out with these little side pockets at this one part? What's the point? What's the point of any of this? I don't think I need to sell you on how ass these courses are. I think you get the gist. Anyway, now we're on to the C tiers. This is where most of the courses in this game reside. Can you believe it? I don't have it in me to make 3 different segments on the Donut Plainses. This is by far the most boring theme in the game, because at least the Mario circuits have an excuse to be boring looking. Plus, I like their music a lot better. This shit is just grass. I don't understand. There has to have been a more interesting theme they could have used. I don't know, make the grass purple or something. Who cares? This is so generic. But with that said, the time has finally come to answer a long sought-after question. In the opening of my Mario Kart Wii video, I said this. Are you seriously gonna tell me with a straight face that you genuinely care about whether or not I would rank Donut Plains 2 over Donut Plains 3? Well, here we are. The answer to that question will finally be revealed. Drum roll, please. And the answer is... Okay, now back to the question at hand. Donut Plains 2 or Donut Plains 3? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I liked 3 a little better. It, didn't really need all that build-up. First things first, Donut Plains 2. It's got a pretty standard, okay layout, but the real standout here is the moles. They latch onto your cart, and you gotta shake them off. That's funny. Otherwise, there's really nothing to say about this one. Donut Plains 3 is the course that was remade in Mario Kart 8. And while they did a great job with that remake, the original is... The road is so twisted and narrow at points that it's so easy to fall in the water and perish. But it's certainly a unique course, and hopping over this one gap in the bridge is fun. Still, not the best this game has to offer. My favorite Donut Plains is 1. Nice, simple, doesn't overstay its welcome, though it doesn't have any of the moles, so never mind, it's kind of a ripoff. I don't know, the order of the Donut Plains doesn't really matter. This is just what I'm feeling today. Can we go to the fun game now? Mario Circuit 1. Short, sweet, and to the point. In this game, I can appreciate simple courses that don't have any annoying elements in them, and this one is perfectly fine in that regard. It's got a nice wide section to take a mushroom shortcut, and I don't know, I like the sound effect when your tires are on the sand. On the ranking of first courses in Mario Kart games, I'll put it, dead last. Yeah, even Luigi Circuit Wii was better than this. I mean, to be fair, this is probably a better course than Figure 8 Circuit, but Patrick gaslit me into ranking that one first place, unironically. So, yep, last place for the weakest Mario Kart game. How fitting. Once we get to the Mario Kart 8 ranking, we'll finally see once and for all how all of these aggressively mid courses stack up next to each other. Doesn't that sound exciting? Okay, so previously on Dragon Ball Z, I anointed SNES Choco Island 2, specifically the Mario Kart DS remake of it, as an F tier track. But in its original version, this course is perfectly average. What the hell? Did Mario Kart DS actually make a fucking Super Nintendo course worse? Holy shit, I didn't even know that was possible! Anyway, why is the original version not terrible? The mud doesn't slow you down, and the bumps in the road are so tiny that they don't send you careening off the track. Instead, they're just there, and they sure are pointless. With that said, the road is a little narrow, and you do find yourself going off-road a lot as a result of that. Plus, it still looks like ass, especially compared to the rest of this game's courses. Better than I was expecting, based on how it's complete fecal matter in DS, but also not very good. Koopa Beach 2. Another course I hated in DS, but it's fine here. In fact, I literally just noticed right now that I ranked all 4 of the courses that made it to DS in a row. I genuinely did not plan that, but I think it's kind of stunning how they all ended up being fine in their original game, and yet DS somehow ruined them. Either by cutting their lap count down and making them comedically short, making the ramp sections and mud barely functional to play on, and I don't know why this version of Koopa Beach 2 is better. Like, I genuinely can't put my finger on it. Maybe because the water is less hazardous since you can hop out of it. But even then, the layout just feels off in the DS. Probably because you have to compare it to real courses in that game. Here, it's fine. It made it to the top half of the list, didn't it? Oh shit, that's right, I forgot about the battle mode courses. The worst one is 3 because it's based on Vanilla Lake, so it's slippery and has ice blocks and it's terrible. Next is 4, way too big for 2 people with far too many layers to it that you're not gonna use. Then we got 1, it's a little hard to see the barriers from a distance because of its flat nature, but otherwise it's fine. And the best one is 2, solely because it doesn't have any glaring issues. Still not great though. Probably the worst battle mode in the series, because at least Mario Kart Wii's mode had Funky Stadium, and Super Circuit has, I don't know, slightly prettier graphics. Leave me alone.